Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for coming out tonight. I have just a short presentation to provide for you this evening, and I invite you to come back to the back of the room at the end of the meeting. I have copies of the report that we put out on Thursday of last week, and so you're welcome to take a copy, please, one per household. And I'll draw attention to the centerpiece of that report is a map, and I have a copy of the map back there that we can talk about it if you'd like. So the activity this past week has not changed significantly, either at Fissure 8 or along the lava channel or at the summit. The summit keeps dropping during these episodic earthquakes where parts of the crater floor drop 2.5 meters, 7 or 8 feet at a time, and also overall slow subsidence. And at Fissure 8, the lava discharge is still very, very high. The upper part of the lava channel that we're seeing right now has not changed. There have been a few little overflows here and there, but nothing significant. In this photograph, the overflows you can see are the lighter gray areas right there. If we turn around 180 degrees and look, or at least look further down the channel, we're about 2 miles further down the channel, looking toward the ocean. This is Kapoho Crater, and so this is the area where the lava channel makes that right-hand turn to the south. And right at that section is where lava tends to pond. And so it is perhaps a susceptible area for the lava channel breaking out in different ways as it did a couple of weeks ago. The lava channel is spilling into the ocean. There's an open channel all the way, and that is in these maps that we've been posting. It's the dashed line, and it runs into the ocean right about there. You'll notice on this map that red line, that dark red along the southern boundary of the flow, I should say the western boundary, and that's the addition of lava, the extension of the flow just in the past day or two. And so just like the area to the north of the flow, where the was basically dribbling out the margins and covering additional houses and land, that process is occurring here as well. So the channel is well inland of that edge, but the flow is still expanding. And as of this afternoon, it looked like the flow boundary was about 500 feet or so from the Isaac Hale Park. So here's a photograph to illustrate that. It was taken, photograph from yesterday. The ones taken today, we couldn't see the area because of the lace plume. So the main channel is entering the ocean just a little bit further back in this image where the main plume is. And in the past day, the edge of the flow is extended that far. And so this morning, where that white line is, marked the edge of the flow boundary. So it's about still 600 feet, excuse me, I said 500. It's about 600 feet from the boat ramp within Isaac Hale Park. So this is a map that's included in the publication, and I'm not, it looks very complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. I'll just run you through an example of how to use this map. Each of these colors represent a lava shed, a portion of a lava shed as a flow might move toward the ocean. Here's Fissure 8. This is the main channel. It's going off to the northeast. It loops around Kapoho Crater and then enters the ocean. So what we did was to break that lava channel into 3 segments, A to B, A to B, B to C, and then past C. And then if there were to be a breakout of the lava channel, or a complete diversion of the lava from that channel along that segment, where would the lava go? For those of you who have been talking to us at the end of the sessions and the maps, we've been talking about this for the past several weeks. Where's the lava likely to go if it breaks out right here? And lava sheds is just a way of showing you in a little different way where the flows could go. So if the lava channel breaks down, or the cone breaks down between A and B, the first area to be inundated is the lava shed 1. We just labeled it 1. It's kind of this tan-colored segment. If the lava keeps going, it'll move into lava shed 2, down slope. And this is exactly where the paths of steepest descent take us. It's just that the lava shed is representing a broader area, so anywhere in that area that you drop water or drop lava, it's going to flow toward those steepest descent lines, the light blue line that you see there. If the lava continues to flow through lava shed 2, it's likely to go into lava shed 3 and then enter the ocean up at the top of the map. If, however, there is a stall in lava shed 2 and the lava doesn't keep going, maybe there's another breakout that occurs so that there are multiple flows in lava shed 2, it'll fill in that low area and likely start spilling toward lava shed 4, which of course is right in the heart of Nanavali. And likewise, if then it keeps going, it'll enter the ocean just to the east of the red area up there on lava shed number 3. So it's a way to anticipate where flows might go first and second and third, depending on where lava spills out of the channel. Likewise, if there's a breakout in the lower part between points B and C, lava shed number 5 would be where the lava would flow, or lava 6, depending on or lava shed 6, depending on exactly where the breakout occurs. Okay, in the report, there's a number of bullets that I can repeat, and you've heard them all before, except for maybe one point. So the erupted volume of this particular eruption has exceeded the erupted volume of the historical events of the past 200 years. The sustained collapse at the summit means that the magma reservoir up there is supplying a steady supply of lava to the lower East Rift Zone. So there's an abundant availability of magma up at the summit. And there's very little deformation occurring or very little earthquake activity occurring in the lower East Rift Zone. And that's telling us that there's a nice open pathway from the East Rift Zone up to the surface at Fissure 8. With time, the likelihood that other fissures will erupt along the segment seem to be decreasing in time. At least that's our view. Fissure 8 seems to be wide open, has a steady pathway to the surface. The geologic record suggests that some of the larger eruptions in the lower East Rift Zone have lasted for years. Some number of years, not sure, we weren't here 200 to 400 years ago. The Hawaiians don't have enough detail in their stories to pin down exact time frames, as I understand it. The most readily the best example is Heiheihulu cone, which is a very broad, quite large shield cone that's just about 3 miles up above Highway 11. If that kind of activity ends up happening here, we could expect the eruption to last for years. So in conclusion, we're suggesting that it looks like this eruption could occur for months to years because of all of these conditions that we described above. So up at the summit, activity hasn't changed. The most recent collapse event was earlier this morning. They seem to be occurring about 30 to 40 hours time frame. So I'm going to show you a photograph to try to represent the scale of how much the summit is dropping. At that little circle, you can see a little offset. It looks like a little cliff there in the shaded relief map. So we'll show you a photograph taken from here looking across to that area right here. And that scarp face is all brand new. It's all formed in the past 6 weeks as the crater floor here in the foreground drops during each of these collapse events, about 2 to 2.5 meters at a time. So there have been almost 60 of these collapse events since the activity started in mid-May. So magma is still draining from the summit reservoir, moving into the East Rift Zone, and Fissure 8 still is erupting as much as it ever has. So please come back and grab a copy of the report if you'd like, and we can talk about the map as well. Thank you.